More pressure now.
More pressure. But now I need to play faster. I always play so slow against Theo. Okay.
Stalemate is...
Can you imagine an over-the-board stalemate?
It's a nice one.
Okay.
Mate, you said.
I know, because I thought it was mate.
Where?
I don't know. It was almost mate. Here we were discussing what had just happened a few seconds ago. You see, I was playing in the semifinals of a huge chess tournament in London, played in the London nightclub, where we were all fighting for a bottle of wine. However, at the semifinals, when I was playing against this guy with the purple shirt, I stalemated in a completely winning position, thinking that it was checkmate. I even said out loud, checkmate, and he started laughing, saying, "No, Anna, it's not a checkmate." And so that game became a draw. Because this was a knockout tournament, we had to get a winner. So here, we were about to play the tiebreakers, a 5-minute game that would decide who would go to the finals and who would be knocked out of the tournament. I was playing against someone that I called the Italian guy because, well, he was from Italy. I had played him a few times throughout my trip during London, as he had come to some of the locations where I was playing chess against people. So I was already quite familiar with this guy. We chit-chatted a little bit, and then he needed to calm down. Okay, you ready? Okay. And then we shaked hands and started the game. He went e4 and I played the Sicilian c5. Knight f3, e6, d4, this was the open Sicilian. And I played knight c6, and this is a very theoretical line. And so I'm trying to get into a, Taimanov/Sveshnikov. So bishop e3, I went bishop b4, just pinning the knight, threatening now to capture the e4 pawn. He went bishop c4, and then I wondered what happens if I take the pawn on e4. I mean, right now I could literally take it. What I had to calculate was what happens then if queen g4, threatening my knight and threatening the pawn on g7. So this started to get a little bit risky, but I spent a little bit of time thinking here. I decided to ultimately take the pawn as it felt like the most critical line. And he simply castled. He didn't even play queen g4. So I took on c3, and I realized that I was going to be 2 pawns up. What do you mean why? You gave them to me.
Why?
He started regretting his decision of giving 2 pawns, but this is not completely over because he does have a lot of activity. My king hasn't castled yet, and my bishop on c3 is in a kind of weird position. I decided to start changing a lot of pieces because of the fact that I was 2 pawns up, as I thought it would make it easier. So I traded everything, and then I castled.
I don't feel great about it.
He played rook e1, and I went d5, threatening the bishop and taking some central space. Now my problem is that my bishop on c8 is very weak. So I went queen c7 to defend the b7 pawn and be able to play bishop d7. I was hoping that I wouldn't get checkmated in any way with the queen and the bishop pointing towards my king. So rook e3, he brought another piece to the attack, and now everything he had to do was just attack my king, bring all pieces, and I had to just survive the attack.
You can count multiple fate.
You know what? Let's just take a time. Let's just take our time.
Yeah, please take 3 minutes, 40 seconds.
I was calculating here if I was actually at risk of anything. You know, maybe we can give back 1 pawn at some point.
1, 2, 3, 4, rook, queen, anything.
Anything, yeah?
Mama, you have this one, don't worry. You got me there unprepared.
Yeah.
Now I'll try some random attacks which will not work, and then you should clean it.
This is some reverse trash talking you're doing.
Yes, it is.
I spent here a lot of time thinking. It kind of felt like a critical point because if I survived this, I would win the game. I just had to survive this. There were moves that you could do like rook h3, rook g3, threatening checkmate on g7. And the more I push my kingside pawns, the weaker my king will be. So I don't want to push unnecessary amount of pawns. I ended up playing b6.
It is the most stupid checkmate threat I can do.
There were a few different reasons for this. One, that I wanted to be able to move my bishop to b7, but another one that I wanted to be able to play queen c5 in some positions to try to trade queens. So this was actually a double motive move.
Wait.
At first my idea was to play bishop d7, but I knew that at some point I might have to play f6, and then I wanted my queen on c7 to be able to defend my king side. So rook h3, threatening now on h7, I had to make a decision. Do I play g6 or h6? I decided to play g6 to also cover for the threat of rook g3. This was two ways of defending. But now I had to be careful with queen h4, threatening h7. However, that was why my queen was on c7 to, in that position, be able to play f6. That's why it was so important for me to not have my bishop on d7, blocking the queen's defense.
So, okay.
But okay, my
if
bishop
I push,
is
you
not great.
change queens. Okay.
Oh yes,
If I
thanks for
don't do
reminding me.
anything, you push here, attack here, and finished.
You're telling me everything, thank
Okay,
you.
okay.
Italian people are very generous.
Yes, but you saw that already, come on. Don't pretend you didn't. Well then, I just admit fail and go back.
He went back to g3, and now I was really happy because there was no immediate threat. The rook on g3 was actually not that strong. It wasn't really doing anything, so I just developed my bishop very happily, and I was now ready to get my rooks into the game too.
Okay, then I make a desperate attempt.
h4. The idea is to play h5 and weaken my kingside pawns, but now I have the move e5.
Getting smashed, I feel.
He said that he felt like he was getting destroyed. And I was really happy with my position. He had to keep the attack going, so queen g4. I played e4, not really caring about that move, but also just limiting the bishop's movement. Now if he plays h5, it doesn't really matter because even if he captures on g6, everything is defended. So I was feeling very confident here. I was even considering playing f5 here or h5 I cannot play, but f5. I simply took on c2, really not caring about what he was doing on the king side. And he was kind of shocked that I didn't really care about it. But the idea was also that I'm now threatening f5. And if the queen moves somewhere, the bishop on e2 will probably be hanging. So he played rook e1, defending the bishop. And now I saw the idea of going queen d2 and threatening the rook at the same time as I keep my attack on the bishop. So I realized that if I play something like f5 and the queen moves to something like f4, then I might be able to try to win something here. The game was still far from over though, even though I was 3 pawns up and it looked like I was completely crushing him. I knew that if I weakened my king side or if I didn't play this properly, I could definitely be in some trouble. So he started saying easy win. I decided instead of playing f5, I decided to play bishop c8 just so that my pawns wouldn't get weak. I cannot play queen d2 anymore because the queen is stopping that move. My time started ticking and I started somehow to get a little bit nervous. How do I finish this game? I played f6 and this was a big mistake. This was a huge mistake because I actually blundered the pawn on d5. You're making me nervous! Oh no!
Sorry.
And now I got really nervous because I realized that I was just losing. That bishop move that I had done, bishop c8, was actually just completely a huge blunder, and now I just had to do a comeback if I wanted to go to the finals. I blundered our rook. It was terrible. I was feeling so bad. I couldn't believe that I hadn't seen queen takes d5, but it all came because I was blinded by my own attack. I just wanted to keep on attacking, but I was blinded by my own attack, and I stopped thinking about what he was doing, and therefore I just blundered my rook. So now I was dead lost. I had less time. People were looking at the game. They were saying, will Anna be able to clutch this? Will she be able to go to the finals? Or will she lose this game and be eliminated? And I had no idea what was going to happen. I was now expecting to lose the game, but I knew that I had to keep fighting. Rook e3, I went queen g4, threatening the pawn. I maybe could have gone something different, like queen takes a2. But I was just so scared. I wanted to bring my bishop into the defense or into the attack. I was kind of maybe threatening at some point to go bishop b7, but I first had to get my rook defended. So the queen moved to b8. I had no idea how I was going to survive this. I went bishop b7. He could actually take my rook here and then go rook e8 check, but he didn't see it. And now actually he blundered his exchange too, although there's queen takes f6 if I take it, so I didn't take it. Now things started getting really, really tricky again. We were both so low on time. Rook e7, threatening my queen, threatening the bishop. I'm threatening right now a checkmate in 1. Queen g3. I centralized my queen. He moved his rook back. I pushed f5, threatening f4. He went queen f3. I didn't trade queens. I was moving my queen around. We were going kind of back and forth. He didn't want to draw, obviously, because he's up material, but he went to the same place. And then he changed queen h2, and now I just thought I have to just throw everything that I have at him. So I went queen d7. All of a sudden, slowly but surely, I was kind of making a comeback. And now I was able to win back the exchange. I was playing so fast, but then I lost on time.
Okay.
Francesca.
You're too fast. You're too fast.
You stressed me.
No, you stressed me. I was
you
winning
stressed me.
completely.
And just like this, I lost the semifinals and I got eliminated from the tournament.
I trash talk the professional.
No.
I told him that he had made me stressed and that he was reversed trash talking me, and he said yes. Yes. But I was so upset because I had such a winning position throughout the whole game, and that one idea of bishop c8 and f6 had just made me lose the rook and had just therefore made me lose the semifinal. So I was really upset that I had lost this. However, I was told by the organizer of the event that I would be allowed to play for the third or fourth place. So there was still one final game that I was able to play to see if I would get third or fourth in this tournament. And I was actually not playing against anybody, but I was playing against a very special opponent that round. So let me know if you want to see that round. Thank you so much for watching this game, and congrats to the Italian guy for going to the finals of this tournament. He played a very strong game, and even after he was completely lost, he was able to get a comeback. So I hope that this also gives you the lesson that you should never resign and you should fight all the way until the end, because you can trick your opponent, just like I was tricked here. All right, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.